for me, I was having some issues with my blood sugar. So I started using Zuma because they had told me that that plus some of the other products would really help my sugars. I'm not on medication, and I did not want to go on medication. So here's what I did is I started using the Zuma, and the next thing I know, my blood sugars are getting better.
The first thing that I saw, and it was a total surprise, was my acid reflux just stopped. It went away. I had gotten to the point that, I was taking Tums, several of them at night, okay, just so I could rest. I haven't had a Tums now since we've started Zuma.
I thought that my skin looked better. This is what I noticed. And I've always known that we should drink water. Water's good for your skin. But, and it may sound silly, but one day, and I haven't changed any of my skincare products, but one day I just noticed that I thought, oh, the lines were not as obvious. Now, of course, I've got them. I mean, I earned every one of them, so I have them. But the more I was hydrating, and the more I think I was hydrating at the cellular level, my skin was showing the difference. And so the lines, they're there, they are less obvious. And I sure wasn't sad about that.
The body is crying for water because it's thirsty.
Yeah.
It's just thirsty. And once you started giving it the Zuma water, then it's not thirsty anymore. It's getting what it needs to get so your body functions properly again. Part of my background, though, before I got in the financial arena was in chemistry. And I was familiar with trace metals and minerals and things like this. So I just spent a lot of time doing some background study on what I was told was here. And in my studying, I found out that where they're gathering the coral from is some of the most alkaline ocean area in the world. And I found out that there was absolutely nothing in there that I could find that was prohibitive, because the body needs the minerals to work at a cellular level.
It actually hydrates you at the cellular level. When you drink things with caffeine in it, that is a natural diuretic. So it's like taking a fluid pill. It goes right through you. This absorbs into you, and that's I forgot that was one of the things that I noticed, that when I drink this, I can feel it going into you, not through you.
I was just praying for retirement to fill out my form so my husband could get my, benefits and all. And because I really knew nothing was getting better, I kind of came home thinking, okay, I'm not going to make this. I'm not going to make it. All my numbers are off the chart, and I'm just going to come home and just die. I had given up on life. X2O gave me my life back. The problem was that I'm diabetic, and I was insulin dependent. I was taking up to 80 units of insulin. My urine had gotten so dark, almost like a deep burnt orange. My A1C was 14. My sugar, some mornings would be 440, and I'd almost lost my sight. When I started feeling better, my husband says, no, I went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, what are you doing? Because the eye doctor was like, what are you doing? He's been my eye doctor for about 20 years, and the things were getting progressively worse since I became diabetic. And so he says, he just stood back. He couldn't believe it, because it was something he was looking in my eyes. Something had gone on. He expected to be worse, and he couldn't believe because it was reversing. And he just shook his head and kissed me on the face. And then I went to my regular doctor for my physical, and he could not believe the urine. He came in with it like this. He said, what are you doing? He said, this is water. And I told him what I was doing, and I told him where he could get it. So he couldn't. I lost 7 pounds, and I hadn't tried. And the other thing was my A1C, my sugar on that day was 100, and the A1C had gone down to 7 from 14. And it was just a miracle for me. And I had signs of kidney damage. And on the report he wrote, good kidney and liver functioning. And my cholesterol had gone down to normal levels, and some were he could not believe the big turnaround in just a few months. So since then, we've been on Zuma products. It's part of our routine in our household. I just feel like, I'm so alive. There's so many things I want to do, because my husband's like, okay, now that you're going to live, what you going to do with the rest of your life? And that was just like, I hadn't thought about it because I hadn't thought that far. I thought it was done. But I volunteer a lot at different organizations. NAACP, I'm the education chair. I volunteer at a community center here, and I'm going to start volunteering in the school system because I still have that love for children. So, it's just really been good. At one point I could not do my housework. I couldn't get up to do it. So now I can do it if I want to.
If you are not alkali, you are acidic, and disease and cancers, sicknesses, they thrive in an acidic environment. In an alkaline environment, they just cannot thrive. The alkalinity, X2O, it actually breaks the surface tension of the water molecules. So your body is able to better absorb the water that you are taking in, and it is better hydrating your body on a whole different level. My friend Michelle Rogalski actually asked me if my husband would be interested in trying the products, because he is a pilot and she wanted to see how it would affect him. And I asked him, and since it was all natural, he could try it, and he had no problems doing it. So she brought the products over to my house. I got my hands on it before it got into his hands, and I was immediately hooked from that point on. He has lost weight. We both normally work out anyway, but he had plateaued and couldn't understand why he wasn't losing some extra pounds on his workout. And when he started with the X2O, he lost another 5 pounds in 2 weeks. The difference I noticed, I was resting at night, I was sleeping, I was waking up with more energy, feeling refreshed. Immediately I lost 15 pounds, and without dieting. That was over Thanksgiving and Christmas, and most people were gaining weight at that time, and I was losing, and I didn't diet. Some issues that was going on with me before I tried X2O was something that Michelle didn't even know. When I was a teenager, I was diagnosed with ITP blood disorder. And as a teenager, I had to have my spleen removed because it was destroying my platelets. And along with that, it caused an autoimmune deficiency. And with the X2O, I haven't been sick at all this year. And normally I suffer from chronic bronchitis, chronic sinusitis, all types of infections every year. And this year I haven't been sick with anything. People need to know that X2O not only is giving you proper hydration, but it's also adding alkalinity and 70 trace organic minerals and 5 electrolytes. And these are the things that your body needs anyway. I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old, both daughters. My 9-year-old, she will not drink anything, no sugary beverages. It's only X2O. Some of her friends at school are bringing sodas to school, and she's just shaking her head at them and literally asking them, how can you be drinking that? You know, that stuff is like battery acid. So, I mean, even a 9-year-old can get it. It's that simple.
I was on the verge of being a type 2 diabetic and was really struggling with that. And I saw my hemoglobin A1C fall from 7.5 to 6.6 inside of 60 days. So that was phenomenal. It gets even better. I knew a little bit about alkalinity in the body, and so I was very much interested in trying it. And I had some wonderful results from using Xtreme X2O. my blood pressure regulated from the 140s over 90 on medication to 116 over 68. And that was phenomenal. My doctor was really excited too, that fact that I found something that I got my blood pressure under control. So I also saw my LDL fall from the 90s. My total cholesterol was in the 190s. My LDL was like 90. It fell to 68 inside of 1 year. Alkalinity in the body literally gets rid of all your cravings for other foods, such as cakes, pies, the sugary things that are related toward cancer in the body. We don't buy sodas anymore. We don't buy the potato chips, and I was a snacker at night, you know, so all that's gone there. I'm now able to exercise, walk, you know, but basically the quality of life is just better simply because of the fact that I feel better every day. I wake up excited in the morning, ready to go get something done today. And you know, when something kind of leaves you, you don't realize it because you're better. I would really want everybody to know that water is the most important thing in your life, that you were actually carried in a sack of water before you were born, and without water, there is no life.
Right, my daughter had chronic constipation, IBS, acid reflux, a thickening and narrowing of her intestines, mouth ulcers, sinusitis, nausea, some vomiting, weight loss. The X2O has resolved all of those issues. So I started doing research on my own, trying to figure out what was going on. She just really wasn't well. She had lost a lot of weight. Her body fat was down to about 6%. Her bones were starting to stick out, and I was really in a state of panic. But I really felt like putting her on the medication wasn't the answer to get her better. Right during the same time when I was in that process of trying to figure out what to do, that's when my friend came with the product that she had just found out about herself. And you know, we added the X2O sachet to all of our water. We all started drinking it at the same time, but for my daughter, we wanted to see if that was going to help her at all. And I really didn't have any idea in what way, shape, or form it was going to help. I had never heard of anything like that. Didn't know what alkaline water was or anything. But so we started using the sachet in Kaylee's water, and within 2 days, her acid reflux was completely gone. Within 4 weeks, the constipation was completely gone, the IBS was gone. A few months later, we went back for another study just to do a follow-up because she was still having some abdominal pain. And they said that her intestines were completely normal, that had completely resolved itself. She had sinusitis along the way, that was also gone, and her asthma had improved at that point as well. For me, I pretty much right away felt like I was having a cleanse. My body was cleansing, and within a few weeks I was feeling a lot more energy, and I actually did start sleeping better, which was great. I wasn't expecting that. What I have seen it do for me over the past 2 years is it has really helped me from getting any of the major sicknesses that I have been exposed to, like bronchitis, pneumonia, strep, all those things I had been exposed to over even just this winter, and hadn't picked up any of those. And I believe that that has a lot to do with the antioxidants that you get from the X2O. Really, the body was made to heal itself if you give it the proper nutrients and proper hydration and after seeing the results that we've had, and after Kaylee being given almost this new life, or given her life back, I just would just recommend for everybody just to try it and give it a few months and get it into your system and just see for yourself the results that you could get.
What X2O has done for me and how it has changed my life, it has given me back me. It has given me back Larry Reed, who I was, and I was the guy that was on the go all the time. I was always moving, and without question, this product is what I owe that to. At age 53, I was considering retirement. The reason I was considering retirement is because I physically could not do a lot of the work that I had been doing. I was having blackout spells for no reason whatsoever. I was diagnosed with a couple of different kinds of things. Most of it had to do with arthritis. Of course, they tried to tell me it was old age. And I had an issue with sinuses, and I had a fungus in my feet that I couldn't get rid of. But primarily the issue that bothered me more than anything else was this back issue, this serious pain in my back in my L4 and L5, because it prevented me from working, prevented me from being who I was. And it was at that point that I realized that they had gotten me tied up on 23 different medications. And most of those medications seemed like they had steroids of some kind in them. So naturally I began to blow up, literally. And by getting on this product, what was really amazing to me, within the first 30 days, I lost 20 pounds, boom. Next in the 60 days, another 20 pounds, boom. And in less than 6 months, I had lost 75 pounds, and I was off of over half of those medications. Of course, I had high blood pressure, had cholesterol, and those kinds of problems as well. Those problems seemed to melt away. My last doctor visit, doc says, I don't know what you're doing, but I noticed you're out of all your prescriptions. I don't know what you're doing, but you need to keep doing it. I said, well, trust me, I will. That is what's changed my life, and that has allowed me to go back to work. I'm going back on roofs now. I'm doing the things that I was doing, you know, when they kept telling me I was getting too old to do, but I'm doing them again. Everything I eat, I chase it with water, period. The X2O has literally changed what I eat, how I eat, and the results of what I'm able to do is just phenomenal. I mean, I still have people say, how old are you? I mean, I'm 57 years old, and I still do the work of, 20-year-old guys. And they said, well, man, how long have you been doing this? 40 years. But even with that, it's because I'm healthy enough to do that. And this product has done that. X2O has made that kind of a difference in my life.